Hello and welcome back to ELT Under the Covers, where we, as English language teaching professionals, we look at the good and the bad of English teaching clips on the internet. Today, we're continuing our YouTube teacher series that we've got going on right now, and we're going to be looking not at a teacher, but someone that is teaching English. We're going to be looking at Ricky Gervais teaching about British slang. But first, introductions. I am Neil of Team Teacher fame, and I am joined here by the hatted Rich.
Professor Rich, youtube.com. So that's Professor Rich, high quality English teaching, best tuber teacher on YouTube.
And a wonderful selection of hats.
I just got one at the moment, but I'm working on it. I normally do have multiple hats actually, but
so
at the moment,
Ricky Gervais teaching English. What do you think is going to go down?
It's going to be cringe. I mean, I suppose it's probably supposed to be more entertaining than anything. But I know this is a series done by Vanity Fair to somebody teaches you British slang. There's a couple of other actors that have done it, right? So maybe occasionally when they've got an interview on, they just ask someone who's famous, hey, at the end of the interview, why don't you try and teach someone some British slang? So I guess we'll take a look and find out if Ricky has any actual teaching background in the way that he approaches this.
That's fantastic. And just so you're all aware, what we're kind of going to be looking to do is kind of compare this, just random, let's call them civilian teaching English, and we're going to kind of also compare them to the previous videos that we've done where we've actually had English YouTube teachers and kind of see how they match up as well, and see what we can kind of derive from that. And remember, if you're interested in those videos, check out ELT Under the Covers at YouTube, and we'll also got some video links below, and remember to subscribe if you do like this. So let's jump right in.
Bevy, short for beverage, usually means a beer. We say let's have a bevy. They usually mean go to the pub and have a few beers. But it can be used as a hot beverage. You can say, let's have a bevy, and they mean a cup of tea. I've got a little beer on the go at the moment. It's not my favourite. It's a German wheat beer because I ran out of IPA. I'm not complaining. But after this, I'll probably start on the wine. Cheesed off.
All right. So why is it that when people say teach English, what they seem to mean always on YouTube is be like a verbal dictionary?
That's
so you put up the word and then give the definition. So this word means juga juga juga.
Or it's like and it's not just random words. It's I've put all this collection of words together, and
that's what it tends to be, isn't it?
Yeah. Now here is my opinion, because I'm a native speaker, of how you should say this, and this is the word that you should use. Don't use blah blah blah. Use this, then you will sound like me.
Yeah, I think there is a place for it, but it'd be nice if there was a bit of other stuff going on in the videos. I mean, I did one the other day. It was about military vocabulary, and that was based on a request. Someone said, if you want some military vocabulary, specifically army commands and ranks, and I put one of those together. But it's nice to get some other stuff in there. Obviously, I'm not expecting it from Ricky Gervais, but but it just made me think while we were watching this, And I just wish that some of the other tuber teachers who have a bit more experience could integrate into that some more of the things about teaching, right? So in the military vocabulary one, I made a bit of a point about pronunciation and natural pronunciation and sentence stress, because I said, with military commands, it's one of the rare situations where actually you won't use natural sentence stress, right? It's like, fall out, you don't say, okay, everybody, let's fall out, right? It's fall out, or, forward march, right? Not like, okay, now we're gonna march forward, right? No. Right. So it's an interesting example when we actually do use frozen English. And I took the opportunity to point that out in the video and talk a little bit about pronunciations and stuff. And, I think that really, that in my opinion, that's one of the things that tuber teachers should be doing.
Yeah, definitely focusing on the pronunciation. I think one of the things that helps with Ricky is here as well that I've noticed so far is, there's no veneer that he's a teacher. So, what he's just rattling stuff off, and it actually comes across as a lot more naturally than some of the
Ooh.
tuba teachers. But that's just after watching the first clip. I kind of want to watch it a little bit more
Ooh.
before I get into it.
I think that was probably a pretty good observation. Let's carry on.
Fed up. He's cheesed off. What's up? Oh, you upsetting? He's cheesed off. What am I cheesed off about? Oh, well, I had to postpone some gigs.
Oh my God, his models are good too. I think
that's
you're right.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. His models are, his examples are fantastic. I wonder if he's doing this off the top of his head, or he's been fed these before, so he's had time to kind of think about it. But the reason that I like his examples, and it's probably the same for you, is they're exactly how you would use it. Exactly how you would use it.
It's a bit cheesed off.
Yeah.
The
way that I'm not talking about the way he pronounces it. I'm actually talking about the situations that he sets up as well.
Yeah, I suppose.
So he kind of.
Well, I guess we'll have to see more, but yeah.
That's what I'm seeing so far. Obviously, I want to see more before I kind of, hold myself to a position.
I do think it's outstanding that he's giving these models, and they don't sound synthetic, whereas all the experienced tuba teachers are giving synthetic models. And I wonder if partly it's because he's actually, maybe this video is actually intended for like Americans or something, rather than non-native speakers. So I don't know if it's actually aimed at non-native speakers, and maybe so he's not having to think about grading his language or anything. I mean, he's clearly not grading his language, but I just wonder if that's better.
I'm not even sure Ricky Gervais considers Americans to be native English speakers. I think I stole that line from him.
Fat and old and tired. So yeah, one sort of transient specific, and one just in general that's getting worse. I'm not cheesed off about anything. Although anything can cheese me off. But I can go into a restaurant and it'd be a lovely restaurant and quiet, and then there sits people too near me. That's cheesed me off. Yeah, okay, I'm annoyed now. So in life, nothing really upsets me too much. But in reality, any tiny thing can just make things not perfect. Grim. You don't have the word grim in America. Grim. It's perfect. It can be anything from distasteful to really boring. If you talk about a really old, broken industrial town or something. Oh my, it's grim up there. It's grim. You could say.
Yeah, I think what I'm finding really interesting about this is how his models are coming out so naturally, and I wonder if it's either due to him or due to the fact that he feels like he's speaking to an American, and I wonder if that should be the little trick that tuba teachers should use. Like, give the model like you're talking to an American, not like you're talking to a 5-year-old.
Tip, yeah, it's a really good idea, because I think one of the issues with tuba teachers is they intermingle what should be the instructional, directional portion of the definition, we shall say, as like your kind of where you kind of grade what you're saying, and maybe you're a little bit more synthetic, so the person understands before you then, I don't know, deliver the more naturalized natural model. So but I think they kind of put it together where they end up trying to grade how they're speaking to explain what their new word, but then they don't change that up to be natural for when you actually use that in a sentence. So I think that's my main issue with them. They intermingle that. So this tip that you gave, I think, could actually, I've never considered that before, but it makes a whole lot of sense. And
it's what you should be doing when you're given a model.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's already thinking, well, what would be their... He's putting them himself in an American shoes and be like, well, what is cross-culturally a good way, a good example to give to best explain this vocabulary?
I think the examples is a slightly different thing to talk about because giving examples, I think, is actually a place where the tuber teachers are very good. They do give good dictionary definitions, and they
literally probably read in a dictionary, so
maybe, yeah. But their situations aren't too bad as well. Just the main problem I have with them is the pronunciation and the fact that they're not incorporating other aspects of teaching into their videos. It's just vocab. All right. I think, is it just going to carry on like this, or are we going to learn anything else from this? If we have a little bit of look.
Say about something's disgusting, like, oh God, don't go near him, he's grim. It's like, oh, horrible. Grimy. I suppose it's from grimy.
I think we got the limitations of his experience as a language teacher there, because I don't think grim means disgusting.
Mm-hmm. No.
I mean, it means kind of depressing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he's given it as an example in two parts. For one, where he's talking about the industrial town as, you know, like this dank, dark place of, I don't know, you know, almost poverty in a way. But then he's also trying to attribute it as like some sort of descriptive for a person or an experience, which I think you can kind of do, but it's just, you got to be very careful with how you do it. You know, like
I mean, again, for me, with the person, I think it means depressing.
It's a personal thing for him, because, you know, like he's saying, oh, this guy's grim. I wouldn't say a person is grim. I would say, you know, like maybe what his actions or something that he's doing, that's grim. You know, like he's going around drinking people's, you know, leftover pints at pubs. I would say, grim. But, you know, this is where I kind of think English becomes kind of personalized and almost regional at certain points.
Yeah, it changes a lot depending on the definitely on the person.
Yeah, like I would never use bevy, but you would use it a lot because.
Not really, but yeah, I mean, it is something. It is something. No, yeah,
you didn't leave me a chance to do my joke.
My mum actually uses it. I mean, I always used to think it was a Scouse term, but I mean, Ricky Gervais is from like Milton Keynes or something, isn't he? So,
isn't he actually from Slough, where they based?
Yeah, it might be.
The office.
It might be, yeah.
I've been there. So, now that's grim. That's a grim town.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, they would know how to use it. I'm going to upset people now. It is pretty grim. It is pretty grim, isn't it? You know, the other thing is, it just really, you know, there's that thing where the words really do depend on the context to get the meaning, you know, because we've got collocations like a grim expression. I don't know if you ever heard that, but a grim expression basically just means serious. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, you know,
like
his face was grim. It's kind of like, oh, is this going to be some bad news? You know, hey, come on, let's go out, have some drinks. So there was my synthetic model. Hey, man, do you want to go and get some drinks later? And then I looked at Neil's face and I saw he had a grim look on his face. Oh no, I said, what's wrong? Okay.
Standard just means absolutely generic, normal.
Do you use this one? I use this one quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, I find the more I live in North America, the less I use this sort of stuff. So
yeah, because they don't get it right.
Or anything, bog standard car, just a normal, off the, you know, production line. Everyone's got one. Bog standard. It does the job. It's nothing flash. Because bog here is also slang for toilet. Barmy.
Nice. So yeah, I think we've got the idea here, haven't we? How it's just going to go on and on. Yeah. But not too bad. I mean, I think he competes with English with Lucy. Yeah.
Definitely, and you know, he's got a lot of equity built up with many people that would find him engaging and entertaining. So just by rattling this stuff off, I'm sure that there's people that are just like rolling around being like, oh, it's so funny, he said bog standard. So, you know, there's probably that element to it as well. But overall, you know, I thought it was, you know, pretty natural. His examples that he gave, I thought were natural, if not more specific to him and his experiences. But I feel if you're kind of wanting to use slang, it kind of makes sense if you use it within that context.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that video with Ricky, like I said before, very natural. His definitions are personal to himself, along with his examples. Some I think are really natural, some are good, and it kind of gives you an idea of when you can use this slang, which I think is very important when you're using slang. Bits that he falls down on, you know, obviously it's going to be, you know, his, like we talked about with Grimm, his definitions are a bit off here and there.
Yeah, disgusting, you know, wasn't a great synonym, I don't think.
Yeah. So, again, he's doing this off the top of his head. I presume so. That he's not.
Yeah. Right. It certainly seems like it. And he's drinking. And you know, to be perfectly honest, you know, English teachers make those mistakes as well. I certainly make those mistakes sometimes. I give a bad definition. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to revise that one if that's okay.
Yeah. So it just, for me, it adds a little bit more fuel to this, you know, debate around tuba teachers of, you know, where's that line? You know, where's that line? Because he's just like the average guy. Average. Well, yeah, I would say Ricky. Ricky, you're average. I'm sorry. It is. You know, come on the show. We can talk about it. But between this average guy, just, you know, giving his, you know, definitions and examples of slang, and then we have YouTuber teachers, and, you know, they're doing it professionally, and I think it's a couple of steps away. It's not a chasm.
They offering? Yes. Well, as I've said before, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely convinced that they're all teachers.
Ooh.
I think there might just be people who have a webcam
that say they're teachers. Rich, that's very inflammatory.
Yeah, I know. Well, the bloody tuba teacher union can get on my case, I suppose. YouTube.com/Professor Rich.
So, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We've got a whole bunch of videos where we're actually looking at the YouTuber teachers. And our next video coming up is Idris Elba teaching English, British slang. Oh my gosh. You're going to have to subscribe to make sure that you get that video. But if you're looking for more stuff from myself, remember to go to teamteacherchina.com, where I've got a whole bunch of materials for teachers that you can download, use instantly in the classroom. I've got a Team Teacher China YouTube channel where I kind of go over how to teach those videos, those materials. Team Teacher English, where those materials are turned into self-study videos, generally for kids or for homework. And Team Teacher Baby, where I put my experience as a teacher into being a parent. And then you also, if you're looking to learn English and you're looking to do it with the best, you want to speak with this guy right here.
YouTube.com/Professor Rich. YouTube.com/Professor Rich. Professor Rich being the Spanish for Teacher Rich. One of the oldest and most established YouTube channels on YouTube. And the best, simply the best.
Yeah. I think if we refer to YouTube as kind of like ancient civilizations, Rich would be ancient Rome, something like that. So, you know, very famous. You know, we still talk about Rome to this day, even though it's been gone for thousands years.
Are you saying that my YouTube channel is an ancient relic of a bygone era?
I was calling it a classic. But it really depends how you define it and peddle it.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody.
Bye-bye.